What it do? Snackers, Snackettes, and Snack X's. Your boy Gage here in the building with the homie Jokes.
Yo, yo!
Double yo for your life. You are now tuned in to Loading Snacks Weekly, where we get together once a week. We talk about things that are happening in pop culture. And today, today we're going to talk about the shenanigans that are happening over at Xbox with regard to studio closures and possible studio closures and stuff like that. This is a last week's news because we had a special show last week. We didn't get to talk about this. It wasn't as important as what we did last week. So we're going to talk about that. We got the pricing for the Steam machine revealed, as well as pre-orders for that. So we'll talk about that. We're going to talk about pre-orders going live for Grand Theft Auto 6. And then we're going to dig into what I have decided are the top 5 moments for Supergirl. Supergirl's coming out this week. You know what I mean? So we got to talk about it. But before we do any of that, Jokes has a job to do. Jokes?
Yes, sir.
Jokes will get the link to our website up. Go there, check us out. It'll help you kind of keep track of where we're going and what we're doing. Just like if you're following our Instagram or what have you. Also, from there, you can check us out on Patreon, where you can make a monetary monthly donation or yearly. Some people do opt to do the full year ahead of time, so don't have to worry about monthly, which we greatly appreciate. You can choose to do, a donation to us that helps keep us doing what we're doing and moving and shaking and going to different places and all of the good stuff, buying equipment and staying in hotels and all that, so we can continue to bring you the content we're bringing you. And on that note, speaking of Patreon, it's time for the 619 Patreon Hall of Fame.
Yes, so let's shout out our top tier patrons, starting with Anthony Cunningham, Marcus Houston, Susan Dortch, Tyrone Carson, Meticulous Skin, Alex Lee, Ellis Mbe, and Kerbert Ferguson. Thank you very much. We truly, truly appreciate it.
Indeed, we do. Now, Jokes.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get too deep into this, right, I do want to talk a little bit about what we did last week to celebrate Sin's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to dig too deep into this part of it. We're going to talk a little bit more in depth about it in the Put a Pin in It podcast, which is a Patreon exclusive. But I do kind of just want to talk about having an opportunity to kind of get the Loading Snacks team together, along with the Loading Snacks admins, to take the time to celebrate Sin's birthday, since Sin isn't here with us. I personally feel like I really needed it. Like I needed us to be able to get together. We got a chance to go over to the cemetery to visit Sin's marker, which, those things take time these days to do and get right and get sent out.
What up?
What's up, Candace? And so it was good. It wasn't just us. A lot of his other friends, family, god brothers, folks came to come spend some time. We spent about an hour or so there, just kind of getting a chance to catch up and talk to each other and see each other and so forth, which is cool. Then we all went to, not all of us, but the Loading Snacks folks, we all shot over and went to go see Toy Story 5. Which we didn't do a Spoiler Boys for, but I also feel like we just won't do a Spoiler Boys for Toy Story 5. We could, but Jokes, you want to do a Spoiler Boys for Toy Story 5?
It's content. Maybe we should. Or we could just make a quick little 2-minute video and throw that up, and now we can just...
Yeah, man, that sounds more right.
Yeah.
It was good, though. Like, we enjoyed it. We had a good time there. Lots of very, very well-behaved children. Really good. Says a lot. And then we just kind of got a chance to hang out. Came back to the house and hung out and did what we're calling a BYOB, bring your own build. And we'll get a little bit into that a little bit later. Jokes, your thoughts on the weekend?
Great time. having everybody together to kind of just to be around each other, telling some stories, just having those moments together where we can all take in the moment together. Like obviously, we would love to be able to celebrate Sin's birthday alongside him, but being able to do it this way with, just like you said, friends, family, loved ones all the way around was just an epic time. And then just being able to, slow down and us, going back to the crib, doing bring your own build. Like that was, it was really cool for us to just really just sit down. Like we really don't take a lot of those times to really just, sit down, enjoy each other's company. It's mostly either we're at conventions, we're together, but most of the time when we're in the convention, we're working. So we don't get those times to really, just slow down, have a good one, relax, kick back. I think this was, it was a great time. Definitely something we should be doing more often and not just for like these type of moments. But absolutely, absolutely was a great time over the weekend.
Yeah. What's up, Alfonso?
Hey, listen, you
I
better go fix some more because that man K, hey,
Kay said I want some cake. I'll make another cake. Kay. What's up, Ma? How
hey,
are
hey,
you?
hey,
Um
what up, Frosty?
Frosty, Purple Hearts right back at you. Um yeah, look, I kind of been tossing around the idea of doing something that's the BYOB, the bring your own bills thing. Um which initially started out as an idea of us all
Mm-hmm.
maybe getting together and everybody bringing like a Lego set. And then I was just like, well, everybody doesn't necessarily like or isn't
Mm-hmm.
into Legos, but some people are into Gundams, and you could bring a Gundam and work on a Gundam. Some people are into coloring and can bring a coloring book. Kay said it was great being around
Yeah.
each other. I agree. Okay. Um, so yeah, the idea of just having an opportunity to do some parallel play, like um everybody kind of just locked in
Hey,
like on
listen.
what they were building, what they were doing.
Hey, there was a moment where everybody was just quiet. It
Yeah.
was like everybody was just locked in.
Yeah, but like the absence of noise didn't make it feel like we weren't there together. Like the
Right.
energy and the aura was still like we're together and we're doing a thing. And it's not like people weren't talking to each other or whatever
Mm-hmm.
at all. It's just kind of like everybody got a chance to kind of lock in on their own thing. Which I thought was kind of cool. So I'm definitely looking at doing some more stuff like that, and we'll talk more in depth about some of that stuff and maybe some things that are coming up in the future when we do the Put a Pin in a podcast. So for the Patreon
Mm-hmm.
members, look out for that. Um, on before we leave this,
Mm-hmm.
if you didn't go vote today and you're in the state of Maryland, pause this and then go like come back, go vote. Go vote. I'm just gonna say it now. They're trying to take your rights away and your ability to vote. Go vote. Go, you know, make yourself heard. Now, jokes.
Mm-hmm.
It's time for hashtag WHHW, aka what had happened was, which
Yeah.
of course is last week's news, which in this case is also the week before last week's news. So without any further ado, would you hook me up, please?
Yes, sir.
Number one.
Jokes,
Mm-hmm.
Jokington. We have to talk about, I don't know. Anyway, we got to talk about Xbox coming out of what we discussed as probably their best showcase ever, coming
Yeah.
out of SGF, and then literally immediately within a couple of days being like, "Oh yeah, we shutting studios down."
Like, wait, what?
Yeah, like okay, let's start with this. So confirmed Compulsion, no, I'm sorry. Ninja Theory is shutting down.
That's
Ninja Theory is the studio that since they have been acquired by Microsoft / Xbox, they've had two releases. They've had Hellblade and Hellblade 2,
Mm-hmm.
Senua's Saga and Senua's Sacrifice. Literally just days before they announced the studio's closure, they announced a
What's
new
the
game.
third one?
Senua, just called Senua, which seemed to be more focused on combat and
Mm-hmm.
that kind of thing, as opposed to the super heavy story and
Mm-hmm.
cutscene scripted games that the other two games were. I think for the entire industry, it was very shocking to have them announce the game, feel like they're making a big deal about it,
Mm-hmm.
coming day one to Game Pass, all of that kind of stuff, only to turn around and say the studio is being closed. Jokes, what are your thoughts?
Yo, that one, that one threw me total left field. Cause by all means, like I believe the Hellblade games did okay to solid. Not necessarily, obviously nowhere close like a Call of Duty numbers or anything like that, but obviously it warranted a sequel. And then we got the third one in the trilogy. So seeing it, it looked good. Everything was great. It's like, all right, sweet. Come the following day, yeah, the studio's going to be shut down. And I'm just like, at first I'm like, hold up. Maybe I read this wrong. And maybe Ninja Theory was kind of like on the list on some other subject or something. But it's like, no, Ninja Theory was initially on the chopping block. And then getting that confirmation, I was super surprised. And
So the rumor is that because a lot of people were like upset with Microsoft, obviously, because again, it feels like maybe a bait and switch or something like that, right? To say, oh, here's this new game, it's coming out 2027, and then to announce, like, you have to know you're shutting the studio down at the time you make that announcement.
at that
And so
point, yeah.
the rumor is that they actually put the trailer together and showed the trailer at SGF as an attempt to see if they could spark interest in someone possibly purchasing the studio. Which, you can look at it as good and bad, right? Because there is hey, look, this is costing too much money. It's one thing to say that you feel like the games were received pretty well and they did okay. That doesn't necessarily mean that the games made money or made enough money to warrant what it cost to make those games. And when you look at what those games look like and what they sound like, the tech and so forth that they're using in order to make that maybe just didn't truthfully pan out. And so while I understand, quote unquote, the business decision to do it, it feels disingenuous to say, here's a new game coming from this studio, which, in this world where things are the way they are, it's one of the studios that you would have expected to possibly be on the chopping block until you announce a new game coming from them at your major showcase, which makes everybody think, oh, they must be good. They must be safe. Maybe it made more money than, or something like that. And so it feels like the rug is pulled out from under everyone, also, especially the people who work at the studio, because again, the rumor is they didn't know that was the case until we all knew that was the case, right?
That's crazy to blindside your employees like that. Like
it is, but it is also, again, it could just be the way things tend to be, which is, hey, the studio's not making money, so we're closing the studio, and that's it. There might be something to be said for saying, let's at least, they've been look, I feel like a lot of times, right? A studio is in the middle of working on some project they've been working at for years, something they've been toiling on or whatever. And the parent company comes through and says, this isn't working, it's taking too long, whatever, you're spending too much money, and shuts them down. And just that thing just never sees the light of day, isn't going to see the light of day. And whatever they were working on just happens to get scrapped. To see it and see that there is some potential in it and that it might be the right move for somebody else to make the attempt to sell the company and therefore keep the studio alive, even if they no longer own the studio.
Oh, look at this. Look at
could
this.
be a good thing. My man
Look
Tardy
at
Ty,
this.
welcome to the show, bro. So good to see you, sir. Um, Andrew
Doing
says,
good,
"Hey,
doing
gentlemen, hopefully
good.
y'all are doing well." Listen, same to you, Andrew. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Um, so yeah, jokes. I mean, maybe it just
It didn't pan out. Yeah.
I gotta give them a little bit of space for being like, at least they made an attempt in
Mm-hmm.
some way to see if somebody else was gonna bite. Now, having said that, there are at least two other studios that, again, it is rumored are at risk of being shut down and are rumored to be in talks with Microsoft to try to figure some things out, the
Mm-hmm.
possibility of going independent or something like that, right? Which is not an unheard of thing
Mm-hmm.
with Microsoft and Xbox. Toys for Bob, who was under Activision when Microsoft purchased Activision, could have been shut down, ended up vying for and gaining their independence, only to turn around and specifically work for Microsoft and Activision to create the new Spyro game that was also shown at
Mm-hmm.
SGF, that same showcase, right? So the possibility that one of these studios could go independent, and those studios are Double Fine, which, look, they don't make games that make ridiculous amounts of money. They don't make
Mm-hmm.
huge triple A or quadruple A games. They make smaller games that are always very well received, and I imagine make good money for what they
They
spend.
do.
But as a company, they have always kind of been on the verge of having to close and being
Mm-hmm.
concerned about where the money was going to come from to make sure everybody got paid and the studio wasn't going to have to go away. So being under Microsoft kind of saved them for a while and let them do some things and be experimental. Hopefully they can work that out. The other one is
Mm-hmm.
Compulsion Games, which Compulsion, look, I got to be honest, right? Compulsion Games, they were one of the first acquisitions that Microsoft made. We're
Mm-hmm.
talking Xbox One era purchases. They made We Happy Few, which,
Mm-hmm.
didn't really do much that, I can say, but then turned around and released Out the Midnight.
Mm-hmm.
Now I say turned around, but it's been years. There are years, a lot of years between the release of We Happy Few and We Happy Few went on the back burner multiple times and got delayed
Yeah.
multiple times, right? Before it hit. South of Midnight, for a game that looks incredible, was incredible, got really great reviews, and has literally been continuously taking home awards. Like literally as recently as last week and the week before, is
Mm-hmm.
receiving awards for narrative, for animation, for
Mm-hmm.
just like across the board, right? But receiving awards doesn't necessarily mean that the money you spent pans out in the money you make.
Very much
And
so.
that's just kind of the reality of where we are. So what do you think is next, jokes? Is there another, like, who else is on the chopping block? What else might we lose? Are we gonna lose Arcane? Right? Like, no mention of the Blade game. That's what they're
That
supposed to
thing
be
is
working on.
that thing is the same place wherever the movie is right now.
Which, I mean, look, realistically could be part of the problem, right? If the
Mm-hmm.
idea was we're gonna be working on this game, they're working on the movie, we'll drop the game around the same time as the movie, even if they're not exactly tied together,
Right.
right? That marketing blitz could have been a lot of what they were banking on, right? Like I gotta listen, I gotta say, while I have some love for Blade, and I think that the Blade movies,
Mm-hmm.
at least the first two Blade movies were good movies. Like I enjoyed them and they kicked off truthfully what the MCU really kicked off like superhero movies technically. The reality of it is, right? Blade is not Wolverine, Blade is not
Yeah.
Spider-Man, Blade is not Batman, Blade is not Captain America or Superman, or like a Blade game, as cool as it sounds, will
Mm-hmm.
not sell just on the Blade name alone if there isn't something else happening from a marketing standpoint that will make it popular. Like Blade's not popular. I don't care what you say, Blade's not popular. You know what I mean? And like there was a little bit of like, oh snap, Wesley Snipes showed up in Deadpool.
Mm-hmm.
where is that and what are we doing with it, right? And so without a secondary marketing push that comes directly from Marvel/Disney, I don't know that game does numbers
Mm-hmm.
for what they're likely to be spending on it. And to be honest, it might do better if they took the exact same game, gave it a different name, and redesigned the character, and it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't specifically Blade. They might do better on the strength of the name of the studio as Arcane and the games
Mm-hmm.
that they have done previously than they will trying to sell a Blade game. I just a Blade game by Arcane, I can almost guarantee you I would buy.
Mm-hmm.
A Blade game by Arcane without any additional promotion, I can guarantee you is a game that I would play on Game Pass. But that doesn't necessarily mean it generates dollars. So what do you know what I mean? So what do you do?
I think they are linked together because like it's just kind of they both disappeared. Like the game, they showed that one trailer, dipped out, got low. You know, after the first trailer, you know what? I expect a little bit of radio silence. You know, the tease is here. You know what? It's being worked on like we always do. Like, yeah, that joint's like 2 years away. That joint ain't coming no time soon. But
Yeah.
that was we're past the 2 year mark now at this point. So I'm hoping that maybe there was some type of, that marketing with the movie, and maybe it's like, hey guys, can you guys hold back a little bit until we figure out wherever this movie is in limbo? And if not, like, I would hate to see something like that has the potential of being good
Yeah.
end up just getting shelved after like all that work being put into it. But hey, listen, it happens.
The reality of it is there's a much deeper discussion to be had on like the state of the industry and what it means to be able to try to put out a new IP and what you spend trying to do that versus being stuck in the sequel reel, and that's all tied to like entertainment as a whole now, but we can't get into that. Not at the moment. Let's put a pin in it and move on. Hook me up.
Number two.
Things are getting expensive in the computing, video game, CPU, GPU chip world. Are they not, Jokes?
It's getting expensive, disgustingly
It's getting a little
expensive.
it's getting a little wild. And the delay in what the Steam machine was going to cost and when we could attempt to get our hands on it had been delayed.
Mm-hmm.
And now we have some information. Right, Jokes?
Yeah, we do.
So I'm going to have you bring up the fact. We're going to talk a little bit about what we know, but I'm going to show this first. So here's what we have. The Steam machine at 512 gigabytes will retail for $1,049. Okay. With the controller, it will be $1,128. There is a 2 terabyte version that will run $1,350. And if you want it with the controller, $1,428. Now, just looking at, for those of you who are watching versus those who are listening, there's an on-screen graphic. The CPU is a semi-custom AMD Zen 4 6C 12T. The GPU, a semi-custom AMD RDNA 3 28 CUs. 16 gigabyte DDR5 plus 8 gigabyte GDDR6 VRAM. 512 gigabyte NVMe SSD micro SD card slot. Wi-Fi 6E, Bluetooth 5.3, gigabit Ethernet, integrated Steam controller wireless adapter, small form factor. This is very small, whereas this is a 6-inch cube. It's like smaller than GameCube, small, right? Which is kind of incredible, to be honest. Running Steam OS 3. Now, Jokes, before anything else, we have to talk price point. How do you feel about the price point?
Ew.
You don't like it.
Ew. Like, I get it. Don't get me wrong. Like, I feel like for what is in it being as compact as it is, crazy enough to say, like, realistically, it probably is in the right zone for what it is. I feel like with those someone that's trying to get into PC gaming, like, I think this is a better than average build that you can get in this type of package. You could spend a little bit less and still get a gaming laptop that honestly won't put out the same performance as what this will. Uh, I don't know. It just feels at that price point, other than it being compact, I feel like at that point I would rather start taking that money and putting into my own custom build. Outside of obviously of a video card, which is going to be the part of it that's going to end up costing you the video card, the RAM, and the hard drive. I have to say that now because with the prices of everything, those three components itself are what are really going to drive the machine than anything else now. With all the component pricing and being hard to get parts, yeah, like. But
I mean,
the
I
1,000.
think though. I mean, I hear what you're saying, but I think if you are truthfully gonna go custom build, you're not custom building something to go in your living room connected to your regular TV, which is what this is designed to do. It's designed to run like a base gaming PC without the, like, let's be real, bro. Like, PCs are gaudy. They're gaudy. Like for your office or your gaming room, your gaming setup, if you're a streamer or a hardcore gamer, if you're adding the fans and the clear case with the neon lights and the, you know what I mean? Like that's cool. Like the RGB, like that's cool. But for like in your living room under your TV, man, if you don't get, like, that's not what people want. And this is designed for people to be able to take that kind of an experience without the gaudy, without all the gaudy, and without it, and without feeling like they need to deal with the rigmarole, the hassle of getting parts and putting it all together themselves, or paying somebody else to put it together themselves, or whatever. It is designed to simplify all that. So the minute you start saying based on price, I would probably get into building my own, means this is not a product for you.
Yeah.
That's what that means, right? You're a different kind of nerd. You understand what I'm saying? Like, just, you're a different kind of nerd. And Steam is not calling this a console. They are specifically saying this is not a console. They are saying it's basically entry level for getting people into PC gaming. But it's trying to remove all those barriers. So they are, whether they call it a console or not, attempting to compete with consoles and the console space. But what they are doing that I think is different, and what I really think is important about this price point, as expensive as this is, especially at 512 gigs, like, you're getting little to no games, bro. Like, at
on 512, barely
like,
one game.
Like,
Call of Duty. Oh, you take
yeah, like, you can basically forget it, right? But also, somebody who seriously plays Call of Duty, this also isn't really for them, right? Unless that's the only thing they play, and if they're gonna do that, they're probably playing it already on console, right? So like, I don't think that's what this is. What I do think this is an attempt by Steam to take the relatively simple ubiquity of your PC game library and its ability to go anywhere with you.
Yep.
At a cheaper price point per game in the long run, right? If you have a Steam Deck, literally you can pop the memory card out of your Steam Deck and pop it right into the front of this and just keep going, right? Your Steam library is already there. So if you have a PC and you're playing on Steam, those games are already there. Play them on your TV. If you have a Steam Deck or you are in the market now for a Steam Deck, which, mind you, You can dock and connect to a TV. Like you don't,
Mhm.
and this isn't really running way better than that. Like it touts 4K 60, and like if you look at all the reviews that are out, at like minimum, like benchmarks, you can get 4K 60, but you're not getting like super high end,
Right.
like gaming PC for real 4K 60. You're getting, like you're probably gonna have to turn off ray tracing. You're probably which is again something you can technically get with a PlayStation 5 Pro at least at
And
just
save
under what this
under
price
that.
point is.
Yeah.
Okay, but you are also then stuck in that ecosystem, which for PlayStation isn't bad. Almost everything is there.
Mhm.
But Steam has almost everything.
Everything.
You know what I mean? And then you throw in the fact that it's basically just a PC.
Yeah.
So like you can put Windows on it if you want to. I don't know why you would, but you could. And do anything else you want to do with it. You want to run Photoshop? Run Photoshop. You want to do this like from your living room and stream like we're streaming right now? You can do that on that machine. So there are some other options that I think people will probably figure out.
Mm-hmm.
The original price point for this, according to them, was supposed to be $750.
Yeah.
And at $750, it might have been a solid move.
I was in a little bit of a better spot.
It's still gonna be difficult. Pull the website for me real quick for Steam, because we have to talk about what they're doing, what's happening with the pre-orders, look at the fact a little bit. So if you scroll down, I'm not going to dig too deep into this. Like you all can go to Steam's website if you're interested in it. Again, one of the things that's here is that it says you can join the list at any time before June 25th, which is this Thursday at 10 a.m. Pacific. On that date, the list will be closed and randomized, and you will receive an email with your results shortly after. So here's what is happening. You can literally go in. You have to have a Steam account. Scroll down to the facts for me, Jokes. It's going to be closer to the bottom. There's a lot of other rigmarole. And something we looked at when they first introduced this, when they first announced it, that we don't need to look at tech specs and all that. But here we go.
Yeah.
So why a randomized reservation order? We underestimated customer interest when we recently released the new Steam controller, and we wanted to create a system that would be less frustrating and more fair for everyone. A launch that starts at a specific day and time tends to reward bots, people with fast internet connections, talented gaming fingers for quick F5 refresh reactions, and those who can schedule their life around that moment. By accepting reservation signups over the course of a few days without the incentive to be first, we're hoping to take away some of that friction. The longer time frame also allows us to do some extra validation on the signups to make sure they're real accounts with only one per household. So, are there criteria for signing up? Yes. So, customers must meet the following criteria to be able to sign up. You must have a Steam account in good standing. You must have made a purchase on Steam prior to April 27, 2026. There is a limit of one sign up per household, and we will use payment method, shipping address, and other information to eliminate multiple entries. So, let's just start there. I think this is incredibly smart. Right. And I honestly feel like everybody who's doing a release for a console or something like this should be doing something of this sort. Okay. Now, there is going to be a randomization for who can get it and who can't get it. You are allowed to sign up for more than one console, but they are not going to give you more than one console. So you can sign up for, say, the 512 and the 2 terabyte. You can sign up for with controller, without controller, whatever. You can sign up for all 4 versions if you choose, right? So if you look where it says, do I have to pick a specific model at sign up? It says, if you care about getting any available Steam machine model more than any specific one, you're welcome to sign up for multiple models. Each model has its own list of signups that will be randomized on June 25th at 10 a.m. After that, you are assigned a reservation queue spot for one or more models. You'll automatically be allocated a reservation for the highest end one that you're in and removed from all others. If you didn't get a reservation spot for any of the models you signed up for, you'll be placed on the wait list for the model that you were closest to the front of. So, again, I just think that's really smart. It's a really great way to eliminate bots. You're not going to get rid of everything, like,
Yeah.
but I think it's a really smart way to do it, to try to make it as fair as possible. If you sign up, you sign up. It doesn't matter if you sign up today or if you signed up 2 days ago when they did the initial announcement. It doesn't matter if you sign up at 9:50, right before the 10 a.m. Pacific cutoff. You still have the same chance in terms of the randomizer of getting selected to have an
I
opportunity
actually
to
like.
then make
I
a
like
purchase.
that. I think like you said, a lot of companies could benefit from this. Like, you know me, like on a weekly basis, I'm probably on Pokemon's website like once a week, and you're literally at the mercy of being able to get in, sit in the line, and hope by the time you get in there, there's stuff available for you to buy.
Correct.
But just being able to go in, I'm interested in Model A and Model C. It will just throw your name into a randomizer. I think, and obviously being able to short bots in those multiple potential accounts, I think is a real good plus, because a lot of places now, bots are just absolutely dominating any of these purchases,
No two ways about it. Yeah.
and there's no, like, it's just like I said, as quick as you could be on that refresh button, that bot is going to be 100 times faster than you, and it's bypassing certain protections to be able to get in. I think the way to get this is very fair, and I do like that.
I do too. It says that if you receive the email that you're in the reservation queue, so it means that you have a Steam machine reserved for you. All you need to do is wait. And once we have it ready, we'll send you an email with the option to purchase. You'll then have 72 hours to complete the purchase before we cancel your reservation and move on to the next person in the queue. So again, like, you have 3 days, bro. Like, once they send you the email, you still have 3 days to make the purchase before they cancel it and move on to the next person that's in the wait list, which we already know that wait list is going to exist and will be long. You know what I mean?
Listen, that's very fair. 3 days. I would imagine if you are buying this, you're probably already prepared, locked and loaded, ready to go. But 3 days is definitely a good enough time. For whatever reason, your card expired, you needed a new card, whatever. You got plenty enough time to get in there and make those changes. So this is I think a very, very fair process to be able to
I
get
agree.
it.
Keep scrolling. It's a little bit more on there, but we're not going to spend too much more time on it. Again, like, I just think that I think it's a pretty dope way of doing it. I wanted to get into this. Is this the Valve console? So scroll up a little bit. Let's bring that to the center. So we think of the Steam machine as an extension of PC gaming, not as a console. The traditional console model is to sell hardware at a loss and make up the revenue with subscription services or by selling games that are locked into the hardware. We think this can make sense for a single business in the short term, but that open ecosystems are better for customers over the long term. PC's gaming history proves this. The openness of PC gaming space has enabled it to be the primary driver of hardware and software innovation for decades. The strength of PC gaming is the ability to play the games you want on the hardware you want. Steam Machine is a solution to these problems, and we think it's a great one, but it's not the only solution, and we don't want to be. So, I mean, again, look, I think that there's a stark difference. Like, as a company, Valve putting out a Steam machine knows and understands that there are plenty of other companies making PCs. And then you have plenty of options for going and buying your own parts and building your own thing and, designing your own system. Even with this, you're allowed to strip it of the OS and put whatever you want on it and use it for whatever else you want to, right? They've been very good about that kind of stuff with the Steam Deck, right? And people being able to, like, literally giving you all the specs and being like, you want to change it up? 3D print, a version of it or whatever, and take all the components and put it in that. Like, they're very open to that kind of thing because that's what PCs and PC gaming has always been. Part of the beauty of PC gaming, right? Like, we don't talk about it very often because we usually only talk about the software portion, really, when we talk about gaming and PC gaming, because we're mostly console gamers, right? But truthfully, for the majority of people who really spend the time building, quote unquote, a gaming rig, a lot of that is about making it their own, wanting to have things in it that other people don't have. My rig, my system is running a this, and a this. And more importantly, it looks like this. It has these lights and this stuff going off in the background or whatever. And it is almost like doing car mods. You know what I mean? In some sense. That is a part of what PC gaming really is. And this is no different in terms of being able to like take this little box, but they have like the different face places you can get for it. And again, people are going to be 3D printing all kinds of stuff for it. So like, there's no doubt in my mind that even at this price point, these are going to sell out.
Yeah.
The Steam controller was like out of control, and it's an expensive controller that like I don't really see. I don't really like the design of it, but maybe if I had it in my hands and felt it, I'd be like,
it'd be a little bit different. Agreed.
You know what I mean? Like it could be very different. But also the fact that with this, you can hook up any controller you want, right? Via Bluetooth, via USB or whatever, and just use what you like. Again, gives you the kind of flexibility you don't generally get if you buy a console, right? You're into proprietary hardware at that point. So it'll be interesting to see. Are you gonna put your name on the list?
Nah, I don't think so. Maybe I'll put my name on the list and sell my reservation. But nah, I honestly don't have a drive to get it. I have enough consoles on all the TVs, and there's a very small amount of PC games that I would truly want to play. And if so, I have a gaming laptop. It's not the best in the world, but it can run them. So, but for me right now, I'm not super eager to get on the list. I don't need it right now.
I dig it. Kind of feel the same way. Just it's not my preferred way to play. It's not my preferred ecosystem. I think that the PC ecosystem is beautiful. You have access to a lot of stuff, and there's a lot of really cool, especially indie stuff that you really don't have access to anywhere else.
Yeah.
But as a console gamer and as someone who is primarily an Xbox gamer before anything else at this point in my life, whatever this Project Helix is going to be in terms of being able to do essentially what it sounds like is the same thing as this.
Yeah.
That's probably the direction I'm going to end up leaning a year from now, a year and a half from now.
Just give me enough time to get the money together, because I feel like that price is going to smack the hell out of my face when they announce it.
It will, but they like there was like a $1,200. There was a leak today. $1,200, but like a Game Pass Ultimate version of it where you could pay like $60 a month or something like that for 2 years, and then you're paid off for it. Again, Microsoft trying to do stuff that other people ain't doing. Hook me up, dog.
Number 3.
I would be remiss if I didn't talk about Grand Theft Auto 6 dropping a trailer a couple of days ago and announcing that pre-orders for the game are going live June 25th. Is that the same day that the Steam thing is happening? It is. Jokes, the predictions are that day one pre-orders are going to do somewhere between 15 and 25 million copies.
Yeah.
That sound right to you?
Probably so.
This is the kind of thing that makes me go, yeah, a Steam machine might be nice, but you won't be playing Grand Theft Auto 6.
Not on that day one.
You probably looking at 2 years, give or take, before it runs on PC. And 2 years from now, it might not run on that. Like I don't know, bro. It's gonna be a big deal. I expect. So here's the thing. One of the reasons why I think it's incredibly smart of Steam to be doing like, here's reservations, and then we're just gonna send out emails on that day, because this is going to break the internet.
Oh yes, it is.
It's gonna break the internet, and the combination of Steam, the Steam machine, and GTA, it's gonna break the internet. Somebody's website's going down. GameStop's website's going down. Best Buy's website's probably going down. Target's website's probably going to break. Walmart is probably going to break. I'll be making my pre-order directly through the game system of choice.
I'm about 90% of the way. I need to see what a special collector's edition, what it has in it. I feel like it's probably not going to be enough for me. Like, I will be perfectly fine with clearing 200 gigs of storage off of my drive just to install it right from the store. But
bro, you're not playing this game off a disc. What do you mean? Like, it won't matter if you get a collector's edition if it comes with a disc. It's not going to be on the disc.
Oh no, not at all. Not at all.
You're going to have to clear that storage space anyway.
Yeah, the collector's edition is just for the collector stuff. Like, I bought one of the collector's editions of Grand Theft, and I didn't really start playing Grand Theft until 4. And I got the one that was, matter of fact, it was 4 because it had like the safe deposit box in it. I was working at Best Buy, and you know what? There was one just sitting on the shelf, and it was kind of like, I'm just going to get this. But I don't know what it would need to have in there to make me be like, oh, other than maybe like early access. That probably would be the only.
That's
that would be like the
I can guarantee you that's not happening. The reason why it's not happening is because they are doing any and everything they can to keep like any spoilers from getting out before people have their hands on it, which is probably why there's not likely to be any reviews until the day the joint drops. Because they know if they start sending out copies, it's gonna be a problem. We probably won't see reviews for that game until like a week or so after the game releases, because they're gonna need time to play through it and try to do everything and all that. Are you expecting some sort of a GTA Online when this releases?
Not in a new capacity. I feel like the GT Online that is currently existing will probably still be cranking the same way. I don't think we'll see that upgrade. Maybe.
Hold on. We're getting the final DLC for GTA 5 Online in like 3 weeks. If it's the last one, and right now, like if you play the game, which we're doing tonight, they're giving away like millions of dollars for doing like not regular, but like way more money than they normally give away for like knocking out
easier task.
Yeah, like easier task, because this is kind of like at this point,
you get some million.
And I have a feeling that whatever they do at the end of this is going to be tied in some way story wise to something we're gonna see with 6. But again, we're in a whole new city, right? So, well, we're revisiting Vice City. So, do I think GTA 6 will have an online component at launch? No. But I am expecting that probably by August, they're going to tell us when we should expect it. Now, whether or not they will sell it separately or it will be free is a whole different ballgame. Because I'm willing to wager that they know they can sell it. However, if they make it free, there are people who don't care anything about playing the story mode on a GTA
at all.
But as soon as you say online, competitive, having your own, like whatever that looks like, if with all the learnings they have from what 5 Online is now, doing heists, how all that kind of stuff works, like stuff that feels like it's still broken 13 years later because it's an old engine, right? Like, they have so much information. They know so much more now, and they know it better than almost anybody else who does something online. They could literally drop day one and be like, we know you're going to break this. So after 2 weeks, here comes your first heist, and we're just going to give it to you. Go ahead, get them shark cards ready. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, they got to do it. I think it's going to break the internet.
What up, Z?
You know what I mean?
Hey,
What's up, Zay?
But you're still here.
We're sorry you're late too, but we're glad you came. You know what I mean? Welcome to the show. I'm highly looking forward to this, Jokes. Like, this is going to be the thing this year. Like, this is it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
People have been waiting for this game for, I'm gonna say, the better part of a decade.
Mm-hmm.
There is no part of me that thinks it's not gonna live up to the hype.
I 100% agree with that.
I don't know what to do besides take a week off. Like, I don't know what else to do, dog. Like, I don't
planning
know what
at
else
least
to
that
do.
weekend. Because, I mean, like, the story, like, I think they said, like, they expect the game to be, like, 50 to 60 hours for the story or something like that. That's a pretty, I feel like that's a pretty solid number. If they can keep me in the store, like, I went through, like, Spider-Man and all that in the weekend, I'll do the same thing with this. But we just need to see how that online, I need to keep up this time. I got to keep up this time. I fell way off with GTA with this online version.
Yeah, dog, you're trash. Like, let's not even talk about that. Like, I don't want to get into that, right? You know what I mean? Like, we're gonna make good on that in like an hour. You know what I'm saying? So let's not worry about that. Look, that wraps it up for WHHW. What had happened was those are your 3 top stories over the last technically 2 weeks. Jokes. Let's get into top 5 Supergirl moments. Now, let me straighten myself up here.
Uh-oh, got a reposition.
And look, again, it's important. Last week, we spent a little bit of time bashing Superman. Supergirl, again, is a different story.
Cuddy,
and while...
you have to do that.
Facts, Cuddy. He was never really in the race. We're going to get back to that.
I almost had you.
You never had your car. I hate Fast and Furious. Supergirl's a different ballgame. Supergirl, I actually have a lot of love for. And what we need to do is we need to talk about some of the reasons why Supergirl is greater than Superman. I don't know. We'll get there. We're going to talk about it. The movie's coming out. I have very mixed feelings about this movie right now.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen it clearly, but like, I'm up and down. There's a part of me that really wants it to be good because I do like Supergirl as a character, and I think there's a lot of potential in Supergirl as a character. But there are things that I feel like are likely to be part of what's being set up with Supergirl having a movie that we won't get into now. We'll save it for later. As a matter of fact, we'll start with this, number 5. So the number 5, what I think are the greatest moments of Supergirl history is the death of Supergirl during Crisis on Infinite Earths. Now, here's the thing. When they did this, Supergirl was a major character. She was well-known, well-loved, and it was a very big deal for her to die in this. And she sacrificed herself. That's the true hero thing to do, right? In order for them to be able to beat the Anti-Monitor, she needed to sacrifice herself. And the thing about it is, it wasn't just about that moment. Like, her death had ripple effects that lasted throughout DC Comics for years to come. Like, her dying at this point is what made Batman decide that he should actually work more closely with other heroes to try to protect the Earth, to protect the world, right? It changed the way that Superman chose to act as a hero and so forth, right? Because it pushed a level of vulnerability that people felt like didn't exist. And it was a really big deal. That's number 5. Now, my number 4, we're not even going to look at an image for. And that's because while I don't have a huge amount of love for the Supergirl TV show, in terms of it being a part of the Arrowverse, which is a significant thing, the Arrowverse, I feel like, doesn't quite get enough kudos for all of what it did and how well it worked in TV in terms of being successful, especially when DC movies were not really hitting that kind of success, and Marvel was just kind of running with it. There's a particular episode where Supergirl, Kara, has to stop a plane from crashing, and her sister is on the plane. And in order for her to do it, she ends up having to out herself. She ends up having to show her identity. It was kind of surprising, and so it was a big deal, right, for that place and time, and for it, to kind of be happening on TV. And again, this is a show that lasted for multiple seasons. Again, regardless of what you thought about it, or how you felt about it, or say like the actress that was playing it or whatever, it was a big deal. Now, number 3 is specifically tied to Justice League Unlimited, which, let me say, is one of the best animated shows to ever exist.
Fix yourself if you haven't gone and watched Justice League.
Period. And there's a storyline within Justice League Unlimited where Supergirl, Green Lantern, a couple other people get pulled into the future. And it happens because Brainiac 5, who you see pictured here with Supergirl, and his team go back in time to get Supergirl because she is the key to them saving themselves. And in their timeline, it shows that Supergirl disappeared / died or ceased to exist or whatever at the point where she disappeared. And that is because she made the decision to stay in the future at that point, removing her from the current Justice League timeline, which was a big deal. Like it was a big deal. But it was a very important moment because what was happening for Supergirl was that she was struggling to truly find her identity, especially compared to, quote unquote, the big cousins. Superman this, Superman that. Everybody knows Superman, and figuring out who she is and where she fits in and what have you, and searching for her purpose. This is where she found it. She was needed and was important in that place, and she falls in love with Brainiac 5, which is weird, whatever. But that's what happened, and it was a big deal. Like, it was a big deal in that, because it was kind of like, even for a viewer, you're like, what do you mean she's not coming back? Like, that's kind of crazy. Like, you just wouldn't have thought that that's a thing that they would do. And in a way, it was akin to being like, they're not really killing her in Crisis on Infinite. Like, they're not really going to kill her, but of course they did. So it was a big deal. If you haven't watched Justice League Unlimited, highly recommend it, but not before you watch Justice League.
Yeah, watch Justice League first.
So important. Okay, now this is kind of a two-parter. So number 4 is tied to number 5. I'm sorry. Number 2 and number 1. They're tied to each other. So number 2 is Kara Zor-El, Supergirl, succumbing to Darkseid. Darkseid successfully wipes her mind and takes control of her. Technically, right? She gets this dope outfit. She is, again, young and, again, fighting for that identity of who she is versus Superman and what have you, and kind of living, let's say, under his cape, if you will. And this is the thing that makes Superman show up on Apokolips to save / rescue his little cousin. And Darkseid's like, she's free to go if that's what she wants. And she proceeds to let Superman know,
this is what
Iceland, I'm my own person. You can't make me go. And I beat the brakes off of you to show it. Let me just tell you something. This is why we like Supergirl. But more importantly, because in the long and short of it, of course, they save her, quote unquote,
Mm-hmm.
and she comes back. But to really and truly understand it, we need to watch about 4 minutes of video in what is my number one Supergirl moment of all time. Jokes, if you could please.
I will 100% agree with this. Woof.
Whatever you
Just
decide,
enjoy
I'll
this
be
for
there
me.
for you. I promise. Come on, let's go meet the folks.
I gave my word I would not come for the girl. Your death, however, is long overdue, Superman.
Shout out to Andre Brower
Hey, listen.
and Darkseid, bro.
Kara, no!
Let me tell you how Darkseid just Omega Beam
Mega beam.
the clothes off of Superman into his suit and cape.
You murdering.
Should have finished that statement.
Time to die, Man of Steel.
Hey, look at the Darkseid is a threat, bro.
Hey, dog, that was a nah. Thrag still got him. Still got him.
You feel me?
Darkseid! There's more where that came from.
Fearless, untapped power. It would have been a glorious life for you, captain of my honor guard. Instead, my Omega beams will reduce you to ashes.
Take your best shot.
Hey, dog, she ain't playing no game.
She don't hold back. Like,
Neither does he. But look at
dog, the Kent farm got obliterated.
she is eating everything he's throwing. By the way, where is Superman?
And that dude, like, he just lay here for a little bit. Hey, no, that goes. Hey, bro.
Soul, bro. Hands, bro. Put hands on him.
Hey, dog, the cow's just like, whatever.
Wait, yeah. This is why the Supergirl movie is gonna be so like they got to live up to this.
Impressive. Under my guidance, you could have become the most powerful being in the universe. Your life here will be nothing in comparison.
But it'll be my life.
They go. Omega beam that joint. She's eating that.
Gotta get some
Listen,
sunlight.
here come this man
Gotta get some sunlight.
with the super sun absorption. Finally getting the juice he needs. Mind you, she's still down that joint eating the Omega beans, dog.
We will meet again, Kryptonian.
Yeah, he got low after that. He's like, yeah.
Let me get out of here. Man, let me tell you something. That's what I want to see.
Dog, it's one of the best. It's one of the best jumps. And it's like, hey, y'all, you think the movie, that's where we thought the movie was going to end. They were going to, Clark and Carl were going to walk in, have a good old time, and that man just comes out of the doorway and just adds a whole extra 7 minutes onto the movie.
Let me tell you something. That movie, Wonder Woman's fight with Barda and the Honor Guard, crucial, bro. Like, that movie, dog, man, they got a lot to live up to. That joint is tough. Yeah. Top 5 Supergirl moments. According to me, you know what I mean? I'm sure you have your own, especially if you're a Supergirl fan or something like that in there, but like, those are the ones for me. Now, we're going to talk in the put a pin in a podcast. We're going to talk about the bring your own builds session. We're going to get a little bit deeper into that, talk about what that looks like and how we feel about it, and maybe taking that further. And we're going to talk a little bit about the importance of like parallel play sessions, which is what that is. And we are going to watch the new trailer. There is a new DC animated film that got a trailer drop today, Batman Nightfall, which is a 3-part movie. It's a trilogy. We're going to watch that trailer and give our thoughts on that. So for those of you, again, who are Patreon members, look out for that. Ready to close it out, Jokes?
I think we can close things out.
Excellent. Let me start to close out by saying Happy Pride. It is Pride all the time, but this month, again, Happy Pride. We love you all. We will be at StellarCon at CEI Arena this weekend on Saturday. So it is just Saturday, 6 hours, 1-day con. We will be on stage doing some hosting and running around, shooting some interviews and talking to people out on the show floor, specifically for the convention. So if you happen to be there, come say hi, come check us out. Tickets are going really, really fast. It's going to be probably pretty difficult to get tickets at the door if you don't go ahead and get them in advance. So I'd recommend going to stellarcon.com and grabbing your tickets if you intend to go. There is still an option. They have a group session, so you can get 5 tickets for the price of 4. Tickets up front for adults are $25 a pop. At the door, they're going to be $35. Children 4 to 12 are $12. I believe 17 at the door, but don't quote me on that. You can go to the website and check it out for yourself. Jokes, what's going on with the finisher?
So we got a new episode dropping tomorrow. Biggest conversations we're going to be having. We talk about the King and Queen of the Ring that is currently happening. We get the wrap up of that this weekend at Night of Champions. That's coming from Saudi Arabia. We do share our thoughts on that because the ruler Obafemi is looking like he's going to be taking the victory for the King of the Ring. The other conversation we have is if Cody Rhodes would never have left AEW, what type of landscape we would be looking at. Because with him leaving AEW and going to WWE, there's a lot of storylines that obviously would not have occurred and possibly would have opened up some doors on the AEW side. So check that conversation coming tomorrow at 10 a.m. to you.
Awesome. Please make sure you check that out. If you're not already following, shoot over to the Finisher Podcast Instagram page and follow there. Lots of new reels and stuff coming out there. We are sharing them to our Loading Stacks page, but if you would go, give a follow to the Finisher Podcast page. We are continuing to build that up. And as the algorithms continue to change, it is much more difficult to figure out the best ways to get the content that we post to you all. So we'll work on it if you work on it. Jokes,
Mm-hmm.
tell the people what I need them to know.
Remember, y'all, just because you have a well thought out plan doesn't make it a good idea.
With that, we're out. Toodles and lose. Thank you.
Loading snacks.